Learn about the ever-changing climate of the music industry and learn how to position yourself. With the new book, Hybrid Executive, great for indiepreneurs, indie artists, managers, engineers, booking agents, and more. Hybrid Executive is the new terminology for today's indie artist, written by music producer Samuel E. Archer. Now available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple Books, BookBaby, and other leading ebook distributors. Visit thehybridexecutive.com for more information.
This is the Muzilog Magazine Podcast with host Sam Archer. And today we have in studio with us new author Reneshaw, or Renee, as she said, call me Renee. So we're going to call her Renee today because we don't want to get tied up with, people get upset with how their names sound sometimes. But I'm happy to have you on the show with us. And you are a new author. And we want to know everything that you can afford to say to us about this new book that you just brought on the market. And today is, we're recording this on the 11th, right? Is today 11th?
Yes.
But your book is actually going to be nationwide on the 12th.
That's correct.
Is that correct? Okay, well, welcome to the show. And
we're happy to have you.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right. And how does it feel to be a new author?
It feels like, when you eat that favorite meal and you're really hungry.
Oh.
I feel like I'm finally full.
Wow.
That's the best way to describe it. Like you're eating your favorite meal and you're really hungry and it's like, so it feels satisfying. I guess it's the best word I could come up with. Completely satisfying.
Amen. So what is the title of this book?
So my book is called Sylvester Slug Finds a New Home.
I guess Sylvester is a he.
It's a he, yes.
He's a slug.
He's a slug. He's a chubby slug.
Oh, okay. and basically, this sounds like it's geared towards children.
Yes, it's a children's book. Towards ages. It could be from, I say, birth to fifth grade. However, for Amazon purposes, kindergarten to fifth grade.
Okay. And is it a book with illustration and pictures and things that kids love to see?
Yes, the book is full of bright, fun illustrations throughout the entire book from cover to cover.
Okay. So tell us a little bit of the background. What inspired you to, what was the inspiration to put something like this together?
Well, my inspiration came from my son. Though he's 17 now, the inspiration came when he was around 6. My son, he has autism. He's on the autism spectrum. He's high functioning. So observing him, the little quirky things he does, and, it inspired me just by watching him. I have to thank my best friend, Tanisha. She took me and my son to a barbecue in New York, in Brooklyn. And inspiration from the book came from that barbecue. And it was just both of us there standing, observing what the kids were doing out there in the yard. And my son found a slug that he thought was a snail with no shell. Had all the kids in the barbecue bringing him stuff from the yard, and the yard wasn't very clean, but they were bringing him stuff from the yard that could substitute as a shell for the slug. And I went over to him because we were like, what are the kids doing? Like they kept, we saw them bringing all sort of stuff. I mean, and this is also in the book, like the things they brought to him, like the candy wrapper, the bottle cap, the matchbox, all of this is in the book. And I went over to him and I said, you know, Lonnie, what are you doing? He's like, Mom, we have to find his home. I said, who? He's like, this snail, the snail lost his shell. And I'm like, baby, that's a slug. And he's like, he was insistent, no, it's a snail. And he lost his shell. So it stayed in my head for a couple of years. And I kept telling my best friend, I was like, oh my God, that would make a great book. I just couldn't figure out how to get all the pieces together. And then one day it just clicked. It's like, I think I got it. And the rest is history.
So when you said it clicked, you needed to figure out how to relate the story.
Yeah.
And what was the deciding factor for that? What was the thing that actually said, you know what, this is how I think I want to relate the story to the audience or to the readers? Well,
my son and all the struggles he's been through in school, he always felt like he wasn't enough for the world around him. And he always wanted to be like the other kids. And, you know, I've always told him, I said, listen, you don't have to be like those other kids. Just be you. You're enough. And he's like, no, Mom, you know, why can't I be what he will deem normal? And I'm like, you're normal to me. Like, you're my normal, you know? And I'm like, you don't have to conform to what society says is normal. You know, you are normal. You are fine. And you're perfect. God made you this way. And that's just how it is. You don't have to be like the other kids. I said, let them conform to you. And, you know, so I started to incorporate the incident at the barbecue, and I started to incorporate what he was going through in his life. And I just found a way to mesh the two together to create a story.
So is it safe to say the story is loosely based on your sons? So it's not exactly, but there's one or two elements that's there. That's cool. That's cool. So I like that because it's your first book, and I'm somewhat like a first-time author myself. So
nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's different types of books. My book is what you would call a nonfiction. I'm dealing with self-help.
Okay.
It's geared towards music, business, entertainment industry, that sort of thing. But there's something about when you actually start putting it together, and you know, and as a creative, I have to call you a creative in this case. What was it like visualizing? How did you visualize the end game? So you started writing, started putting it together. Now, did you have to create like a mock cover of what it would look like to help you on the journey? Or did you just have like a visual that, you know, I think the book is going to look like this when it's finished, you know? But what was that like for you?
Well, believe it or not, I came up with the title first. So I always knew Sylvester Slug Finds a New Home would be the title. Now, Sylvester went through many changes. At one point, he was adopted by snails. Like, I went through all these different scenarios before I came to the end product that I have. And it just kept pulling me back to the barbecue. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to write about what took place at that barbecue. And I just started, you know, jotting stuff down. I was getting dreams. I was just like, it was haunting me. It was completely haunting me. I was like, oh my gosh, this book is 8 years in the making, first of all.
Wow.
Long time. And I was like, okay. Then I started to just talk to God. I'm like, okay, God, what are you really trying for me to do here? Like, give me some kind of vision, sign, something that you want me to create for these children.
Mm-hmm.
And the barbecue just kept being stuck in my head. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have to figure it out. And then it just, the characters just naturally started coming to me like out of the blue, all the characters in the book. And I was like, okay. And I just started writing it down and then started to create a little storyline and then extending on the storyline. And
so in the process, was there a time when you probably felt like you needed to give up a little bit? Like,
oh, yeah.
8 years.
Oh, yeah.
Thing, what did you do, or what occurred to actually bring you back on the path to completing the book?
So I gave up, so to speak, several times. Gave up out of frustration.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up out of, I had, I guess, writer's block.
Mm-hmm.
And then time. So I'm a busy single mom.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have a full-time career and taking care of my son,
mm-hmm.
which, could be a job in itself.
Yeah. It is a job in itself.
It is. But thankfully, I have what I call my village, which makes up of my family, more so my mom and my aunt, one of my favorite aunties, and my friends. And they have been pushing me over the years. And they're like, Rennie, you just need to do it. I don't know what you're waiting on. You're going to wait for something bad to happen and then it's never going to get done. Well, guess what? Something bad did happen, the pandemic. And I was scared. And I was like, you know what, Rennie? You need to finish what you started. No excuses. No excuses. And, I'm in the healthcare field. And I was terrified going to work. Terrified. I worked completely through the pandemic without a day off. And, I was scared. And I was like, okay, God, I just need to do this. And I just sat down one day and just decided I'm going to do this. Whether I like it or not, I'm just going to find the time and do it. And that's exactly what I did. And when I decided to actually finish the book, I finished it in 2 months.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's amazing. So something good came out of COVID, huh?
Oh, yeah. A lot of good things came out of COVID, believe it or not, for me.
Wow.
And
but for a lot of people, especially creatives, a lot of us, we had to be home.
Yeah.
And it changed the course. I'm actually a part of a podcast right now. And one of the things that birthed it was the fact that we were just home. And we're like, well, you're home, let's do this thing. And now we're about 40 something episodes into this thing called Caribbean Feedback.
Oh, nice.
Kept it consistently.
Yeah.
Every week we're doing this thing. Every Tuesday night we're on, and we discuss some important topics. But I'm just saying, I don't want to go. It's about you and about Sylvester.
Yes.
Sylvester Slug, and but I'm just saying, just to chime in with you, that the effects of the pandemic certainly gave us time to do other things that we probably wouldn't have a time to get done. And you were able to really get 2 months in.
It gave me clarity. It definitely gave me clarity.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So what would you like kids to get from this? What's the moral of the story, the lesson in the story? What are some of the things you'd like readers to get from the book?
So readers, even adults, as adults, we have struggles as well with image, with, we tend to have similar struggles with kids, and kids have similar struggles with adults, at least in my opinion. First thing, love yourself.
Mm.
You have one body. This is what we have. Love what you have.
Amen.
You definitely love yourself, accept yourself, and, don't conform to society. Let society conform to you. Enough for everyone. And if people think you're not enough, then they're not worth being in your space.
Okay.
So it's all about self-love, and find people that will accept you for who you are. They're out there. They exist.
Okay. So for up-and-coming authors, people that haven't crossed the threshold that you are crossing at this point, what good tip you can give them as they're on the journey working on their book? Because you're sort of like ahead of the line. For some folks, they're like, it's still a dream. Like, oh, I'm decided together, and and so you've actually went through you went through the fire, and now you're here. What encouragement or what tips you can give them to help them get to the finish line as well?
Well, I'm gonna say what was told to me. Just write it down. No matter how messy it is, terrible grammar, there's editors for that. Just write it down. Just dump it on paper. Because I think that was my biggest struggle, getting it out of my head onto paper. Because I could tell everyone the story in my head, but I had nothing physical that I could touch on paper. So get it out your head. Like my publisher would say, just dump it. Whatever in your head, just dump it. She's like, don't flood your head with all those words, with all those stories. Just dump it, and then we'll figure out how to put the pieces together. Yeah.
Okay. And talk about the person who helped you put it together. You said to dump it. Okay, I like that. So who's that person?
So my publisher name is Rhea Rodney. He has a small publishing company called Dara Publishing. Okay. And she's located in Brooklyn, New York. And I actually found her on Facebook. It was Destiny that I found her. Because at the time, I'm always on Facebook. And I'm on this group for Caribbean people. And they wrote an entire article about her. She is a best-selling author. She's written over 20 books herself. So she knew what she was doing. And I was like really impressed. I was like, oh my God, like, what am I waiting on?
What's your excuse, huh?
Yeah, if she can do it. And she's been through a lot. Her life, she had COVID. It almost killed her. And she came. So I'm like, geez, if she can do it, and she did it while she was sick. She wrote books while she was sick. I'm like, who does that? And here I am, I'm healthy, and I'm just wasting time, and I can't get back all that time that I wasted. I'm like, okay, I just need to do this. And I took a leap of faith, and I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, can you give me some tips on how you did it so I can do it? I just ran with it. Okay. And now I'm here. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Miss Rhea
Rodney.
Miss Rhea Rodney. Shout out to you. Yeah. And hopefully we may have her on this podcast in the future. You never know.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. She will love that.
Yes. So now the book is going to be available where? Where can folks get the book from tomorrow? Hopefully that this interview will be up soon. So I guess by the time it's up, the book would be on different platforms. So what are the main platforms?
For now, it's available on Amazon. So you can Google my name, or just put it in the Amazon search bar, and the book will pop right up on Amazon. And it's $14.99 for the paperback, and $5.99 for the Kindle version.
Okay. And Amazon is pretty much the store, the online store.
Yes, for now.
Okay.
I don't know what the future may hold, but
it's a work in progress, I see.
Yes.
All right. That's good. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, how can folks get in touch with you?
Everyone can reach out to me on Facebook. Just put my full name, Reneshaw, spell Reneshaw, last name Greaves, Greaves. That's my Facebook for, I don't have a business Facebook. It's just for everyone. Or you can email me at renewrites@gmail.com. So that's RENEWRITES@gmail.com.
All right. So I want to just tap in a little bit into your other background, because you have a nice background here, but there's a background where it's a two-isle republic, I think. Is there something like that going on with you over there?
You said the republic?
It's a two-island republic.
Two-island? I am a Trini. I come from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, I just wanted, I think my audience would have probably picked that up, but I just wanted to throw that. So what area do you hail from Trinidad?
I come from Tunapuna.
All right. Okay.
Tunapuna.
All right, yours truly, Mount Pleasant, Tobago.
Okay, nice.
Yes, so from next door. So good to meet you. And you're doing amazing things. And
Thank
now
you.
You say you're a part of a group on Facebook, like a Caribbean-based group. What's the name of that group on Facebook?
The group I am on Facebook, I can't remember exactly. I'm on several groups on Facebook. I cannot tell a lie, but it is for Caribbean people, for anyone in the Caribbean. And then I'm on a couple of groups for Trinidadians. Other groups for Black upcoming entrepreneurs. I'm on so many groups.
Okay, so you're all right. I thought that might have been a way that folks can reach you. So before we go, I normally ask my guests 3 questions. A lot of the folks I speak to are musicians and artists, so it might be different for you, being that you're an author. But I'm going to throw it at you anyway. So, what is your favorite color?
I love so many colors.
Well, that's nice.
Purple. This is green. I'm wearing green today.
Okay. So
I will have to say purple.
You like purple? Wow,
I do. Yes.
Okay.
My toes are purple. My toenails.
Okay. We'll take your word for it. We'll take your word for it. So but now for me purple is royalty, but for you purple means what?
Well, I think purple is just a happy color for me. And if you in my book, the sky looks kind of purple.
You have a purple sky.
It's kind of purple. Yeah.
You're Princed out a little bit. Purple Rain.
Yeah. I love Prince too. Yeah. Rest in peace, Prince. Rest in peace.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I've loved purple for so long. And I love other colors too. I just love happy, fun colors.
So just to equalize the thing, you know what a pennacool is, right?
Of course, yes.
Right. My favorite pennacool was mauve.
Really? Great.
Well, it's the same thing. Mauve, purple, right? All of them.
Yep.
Same thing. But I remember saying when you go to the stand, hey, I want a mauve pennacool. You know?
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
Okay. So my next question is, what is your favorite dish to prepare?
Ooh. I can make a mean macaroni pie. For my American friends, that's baked macaroni and cheese to y'all. We in the Caribbean call it macaroni pie. And I make a mean macaroni pie.
Get me hungry there now. So now when you do the macaroni pie, right? And sometimes we just call it pie.
Yeah.
What are the other things you might prepare so that we can like really digest this pie the way we need to digest it?
Now I haven't done a Sunday lunch in a long time. If I was to prepare a Sunday lunch, well, let me just tell you what I did for Thanksgiving. How about that?
Let's work that one in.
That'll work, right? So Thanksgiving, I tend to go traditional Caribbean. We did not do a turkey.
Oh, no turkey.
No, we were like, we don't need a turkey. We're going to have other things. So we did curry chicken, stew chicken, potato salad, carrot rice. I make a good carrot rice.
Carrot rice?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to take a little bit of license here because we have a mutual friend. Around that time, I will tell that, hey, tell Renee we need some carrot rice. So
listen.
Take a little license on that. So carrot rice, go ahead. Keep it going. Yeah.
So carrot rice, macaroni pie, potato salad, stewed chicken, curry chicken. I think did we do curry goat? I didn't cook the curry goat. I think someone made the curry goat. Rice and beans. Well, I have a Jamaican friend that spends it with us. So she does the rice and peas. She makes a mean rice and peas, FYI. She have license for that.
She have a license for that.
Oh, yeah. License pattern. I'm sold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're talking restaurant quality here, okay?
Okay.
The only thing probably that was missing was probably callaloo. I love my mother's callaloo. Let me just leave it as that. I can't like go better than her callaloo, so I don't make it.
You should. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so that's good. That's I think I could relate there.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving meal. So my final question would be, give me like 2 or 3 artists that you're listening to in your MP3 player or your, when you listen to music.
Well,
what are you listening to this week?
I love gospel.
Okay.
Corinne Hawthorne.
Hawthorne?
Corinne Hawthorne.
Oh, Karen Hawthorne. Okay.
She sang "Won't He Do It?"
Okay.
Won't he do it? Yes, he would. Love her.
Okay.
Love her. She's young, upcoming. Love her. What was I listening to yesterday? I do listen to R&B, but I like my 90s R&B. So the old school stuff. Mint Condition. I love the boy bands.
Okay.
Jodeci, H-Town, like the real old stuff. And then of course I love reggae. What's her name? Is it Coffee?
Coffee, yes.
So I love her because her songs are really clean.
Inspirational too, yes.
So I love her. I will forever love Buju. I don't care what he did. I said it. I love Buju. The end.
All right. So we have Buju, we have Coffee, we have Karen Hawthorne, we have Jodeci.
I saw him when he was coming off of the plane after he got out of jail. I was there. I just happened to be there in the airport.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. I
didn't know he was coming out that day. But when I saw the crowd and all I heard was Jamaican accents in the crowd, I was like, ma'am, what's going on? She's like, get in here, Buju coming out. I was like, what? I was like, okay.
So you joined the audience, you joined the crowd.
I dropped off who I had to drop off, and I just kind of hung out a little bit with my new Jamaican friends.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's that. Maybe one day you'll write a book about that experience.
Hey,
maybe Sylvester stopped by to see what was going
on. You never know. Sky's the limit at this point. You never know.
Wow. Well, it certainly is a pleasure to rock with you today. And thank you for your time. This was certainly a blast. I enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed it. I think our audience will enjoy it too. Or they should actually, they're listening to it, so they are enjoying it. And if you don't enjoy it, or if you enjoy it, send us a note. You never know. We'll turn something around for you.
But once the book launching is done tomorrow, I'm gonna probably take a week off and then work on one of the other books in my head. I have several books in my head. I'm one of those people. I just have a lot of closet space. So this is in my head and in categories, and I have some more children's books in there. So I need to get another one out so I could think a little bit more clear at work. Okay. These books consume me sometimes.
Well, I look forward to great things from you on this. I look forward to the next, maybe the sequel. Maybe there's a sequel coming. I don't know, but
maybe.
But this was definitely a blast. So thank you, and it's been a pleasure, and we will certainly be doing this again.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This has been an experience, and you're my first real interview experience, and I'm so thankful. This has been really fun.
All right. Be sure to visit our website, muzilog.com. MUZILOG, muzilog.com, where music, entertainment, and culture lives.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Is this Mr. Elliot on the line?
Yes, it is.
Hi, this is Sam Archer. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so I'm calling you from the East Coast. I think you're on the West Coast.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, San Diego.
Okay, I'm calling from Delaware, and it's 1 p.m. our time. It's I understand it's 10 a.m. your time.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so I've already had my lunch, I see. You're now doing breakfast. So I want to thank you for taking the time to chat with me. So let's jump right in.
Okay.
So what number? I'm just curious because the first time I saw you, it was on the Arsenio Hall show many moons ago.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Yeah, that was a while ago. So I'm about to ask you, because I was trying to figure out, I was looking online, and I'm like, okay, how many albums did this brother do? So I'm asking, what album number is this?
Oh, gosh, I think I'm like right around 23.
Wow.
Releases now. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. If I had an audience, we would say give you a round. But that's a long time. So this is, would you say that 23 years is your official anniversary as a professional recording artist, as a saxophone player?
No, actually it was last year, the year before, I actually had celebrated doing this for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, I mean, Yeah, and I get it. You're going on the premise of doing, like, let's say, one recording every year, but I tend to make records more like once every year and a half to 2 years, typically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What was the concept for this particular project?
Well, the concept for this record was to take a slightly different approach than what I've done in my last few records. And one of the approaches was to kind of harken back to my influences, sort of defining moments for me as a young man who, wanting to be a professional musician, but not actually getting there yet. And the kind of music that I was really into around that time, when talking about, mid to late 70s, was all about funk and R&B music. And most of that music was horn-based music, a lot of horn sections. And another thing that was very significant about that period of time was that you would frequently hear instrumental songs make it onto pop radio, which you would never hear nowadays. But back then, it was nothing it was common, I should say, to hear, a Bob James song or a Ronnie Laws or a David Sanborn. And in fact, there was a Kool and the Gang song, Summer Madness, which I named the record after and did a remake that came out in the 70s. That was an instrumental record that went way up the pop charts. And I wanted to kind of pay a tribute to that period in time, because in many ways, that's how what we call smooth jazz today, that's how it started. And again, leaning more towards the slightly more aggressive and fun side of the music, which is all about the funk and all about horns. And so that's what I wanted to do. Now, that's musically. Now, what I also wanted to do was, I knew that if I was going to make a record like that, it had to be a really joyful process. And the way to do that was I brought in my band that I tour with, year after year. And we went in the studio and we just recorded together. And what we did was we wrote, arranged, and recorded the music right then and there. We didn't have rehearsals. We didn't sit down and have writing sessions. We went in to the studio and just let the music come out of us, and we recorded it as we wrote it. And I thought that was an important thing, because I wanted to convey that feeling and that joy of playing live and the spontaneity, and I wanted to try and capture that in this CD.
So you went back. That's interesting, because you go back to the era of Kool and the Gang, the Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores. You had a lot of bands back then that they really went in on the horns. But I was tempted to ask you if the title had anything to do with the Summer Horns project that you did a couple of years ago with my God, what's their names again? Cars and
Mindy and Gerald and
Gerald and But I thought there was a little connection, but I said, well, let me, I wasn't sure if I was going to throw it in.
Yeah. So honestly, there wasn't a conscious connection. I mean, Summer Horns again was all about horn music and horn-based music. The title is kind of coincidental, to be honest with you, because the song Summer Madness was such a pivotal song for me back when I was in school. I wanted to name the record Summer Madness, and I knew maybe a few people might pick up on sort of the connection with the titles and the fact that it's horn-based music. But really, I will say there's no conscious connection, but, things kind of find their way in your subconscious and come out a certain way. So maybe in some way it was influential.
Well, I mean, based on your explanation, I'll go that there wasn't really, it just turned out that way. Although that was a good record too. That was a very good record over there.
So the last record I did, Lip Service, was kind of a more common approach the way records are made today, which is you sit down with the producer, you layer instruments one on top of the other, and you kind of put the songs together as opposed to putting everyone in a room and just playing. And there's nothing wrong with that approach. But quite often you end up recording with people that you don't normally play with, which is also not a bad thing. But on this, the significant difference between the last one and the one and this one is that this record was not really pieced together. It was a concept where we brought in a group of musicians and we sat down and we played. And as opposed to sort of more detail-oriented kind of piecemeal approach of, okay, now I'm going to add a guitar to this. Now I'm going to add a drum groove. And now I'm going to put a saxophone down. We just, again, the Summer Madness was a more of a spontaneous kind of live-based approach, which is playing together.
And which is nice too, because not many people are doing that anymore. It's pretty much what you explained from how you did the previous record. So I mean, going this route, and I'm taking the fact that it's your band that you already play with, that it made it a tad bit easier. In terms of the approach and the feel, because you kind of feel that when you listen to the album too, you know.
Oh, well, good. That certainly was our goal, was for people to kind of feel that sort of live energy and that kind of spontaneity in the record.
Yeah, I did mention it to Mike. I say, hey, it feels good. It's a good, I listen to, sometimes you listen to a record while you're doing stuff around the house, or maybe in your little office or your room, and the music does its job while you're doing what you do, which is really it determines if you like the record or not. Sometimes you listen, let it play all the way through, or sometimes you just have to shut it off after the third song.
Yeah,
so,
I understand.
I'm happy to say I didn't have to do that for your record.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So what was it like working with Rick Braun? I saw that he was the, I hope I pronounced his name properly. I saw that he was the producer, and also he added some additional, he added the trombone. And also produced. What was it like working with him on this record?
So Rick and I have been friends for many, many years. We've done other records together. And again, we go back a long ways. So when I thought about getting a producer involved in this, he really kind of was the only person I thought that would be the right person to have as a part of this project. He and I have worked with each other enough that we can sort of anticipate each other's moves. And also he's great at sort of coaxing out things in me as a performer that maybe I wouldn't do on my own. And I think that's an important job of a producer, is to kind of take an artist, especially if it's an artist that's got a lot of records out already, and kind of push them a little bit out of their comfort zone. And he's really good at that. And he's just a great guy, and we get along great. So he was the perfect choice to be part of this, especially this project. An amazing musician. Yeah. Okay, so I was just going to mess with the pot a little bit, because I know a lot of times you'd hear artists discuss the challenges. It's not really like a hate thing, but you discuss the challenges with a producer, and in your case, because you've probably produced a couple of your records as well. What was it? I mean, what is the motivation for you to say, all right, let me entrust the producing to, which you've actually answered, but I'm trying to see it from a fan's point of view. Because now you're Richard Elliot, but you're saying, okay, I wanted to entrust that duty on to someone else to kind of help pull the best out of me. Some artists take a good feel to it. Some artists might feel intimidated.
you know, what was your take on actually taking that approach with it?
Well, you know, I think I have produced a lot of my own records. And I think that sometimes, you know, when you produce yourself, you kind of lack a little bit of objectivity.
Objectivity. I like that word.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can't sort of look at yourself from the outside in. It's very difficult for a musician to do that. And I think having another set of ears and another set of eyeballs on it is an important thing, as long as it's the right person. Yeah, because I think if you're too close to it, meaning you're producing yourself, I'm not saying it can't be done. It can be done. It can be done very well. But I think it really depends on the project, what you're trying to achieve. What I was trying to achieve was something a little bit different for me. I wanted to kind of push things a little bit. I wanted this to be, you know, just a slightly more adventurous record, and I felt it was important to have someone who could be like a third party looking from, not necessarily from the outside looking in, but outside of my head. You know, someone that I trust.
And I really asked that question for other artists that may listen to this interview to see why it's important to have a producer that may be willing to be passionate as you, that may be willing to kind of push you a little bit to get the best out of you within the situation, you know, in terms of recording, in terms of the arrangements, in terms of the, you know. So it was kind of more that some folks might, you know, I didn't want to just breeze over the producer question, but to kind of like really bring that part, you know, because it's a really critical part that can make or break the album. Okay, this is going to be a interesting question to ask you. Out of all the albums that you've done already, would you consider this your favorite album?
Yeah, you know, that's an easy question to answer in one respect and hard in another. I will say that I'm always, whenever I do a new record, I pretty much always say that the most recent one is my favorite one because it's most representative of where my head is at musically right now. At the time. Yeah. That being said, when I release a new record, when I can't listen to it for probably, I mean, I listen to it, but I can't really sit and listen to it, the whole thing, without listening to it and thinking of all the other things that I could have done differently. In other words, being sort of overly critical. It takes me a good few months to get over that. So in some respects, it's my favorite. The most recent record is always my favorite. In others, it's my least favorite because I'm so close to it. I'm still sort of picking it apart when I listen to it. So understood. Yeah, it's like a mixed blessing, kind of, you know.
Hey, okay, all right. That was a good one. I'm going to detour a little bit. What is your take on the cool jazz market today? I mean, from when you came in years ago to what it is now. What do you like? What do you think you don't like about the market or the industry?
Well, my biggest concern, I will say, I'll call it a concern with the genre right now, is that it's harder and harder for new artists to break in. You know, I love making records, and those of us that have been around doing it for a while, you know, love doing it, love playing live. But, you know, you got to get some fresh blood in there. Now, that being said, there is some new younger artists that are coming up and doing well. I mean, Jakeem Joyner and Vincent Ngala and people like that. And that's great. And I love that. I just would like to see more of it. I'd like to see it be a little bit easier for new artists to break in, because that's what's going to keep the genre alive. And it's also what's going to continue to bring new people to the format and younger people to the format. You know, it's funny because in some ways our audience has sort of grown older with us. When I was in my 20s doing this, my audiences were mostly in their 20s, and now I'm in my 50s, and I play shows, and I see audiences that are predominantly my age, and that's wonderful. I mean, I'm thrilled with the loyalty. I just want to see more younger new artists get into this and get recognition.
But is there an approach that you guys can take that can assist the new artist that's coming in? If you see any vision with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that there's a couple of ways to do that. One is in the live front, to see festivals and larger festivals. They have to book the heavy hitters, and that's important to get the people out. But it's also a great vehicle to bring in younger artists, and I am seeing that. I guess I just like to see, more of it.
See more of it, yeah.
Yeah, and then with respect to radio, radio has changed a lot. We do have Sirius XM, which is fabulous, and Watercolors has been great. And actually, I will say this. Watercolors does push the boundaries, which I love, because I do hear some new artists on there. I do hear them sort of pushing to the edges of the format a little bit too, with some more adventurous things. I'd love to see more radio stations, local radio stations, popping up and playing the music. It used to be there was quite a few. A lot of them have gone away. I think that's the biggest thing. I'd love to see more, local stations start coming back. And also, there was a time when this format first kind of started, you had every program director at each station, when there was quite a few stations playing it, they would pick the songs they wanted to play that they thought worked best for their audience. And the format eventually moved into a singles-driven format where basically consultants decided this is the song you need to play, and then they just play that song. Again, I understand the need for that to sort of categorize, but I think maybe it went a little too far.
Okay. Well, that's definitely food for thought. And so I'll just move on to the next question.
Okay.
So what is in your MP3 player right now?
Oh, my gosh. So I got pretty eclectic taste. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, but I like a lot of world beat stuff. I like there's a band I've been listening to quite a bit lately called Oso Motley, which is a band from Los Angeles that fuses Latin funk and hip hop and jazz together. Okay. And I really love those guys. It's great band, very creative. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff I've been kind of listening to lately. D'Angelo. I love sort of neo soul type stuff. So, Jill Scott and people like that. Okay.
And I know you have they did send me like a future performance dates that you may have going on. But what are some of the dates you're looking forward to in the near future? Like, let's say probably in the next month or so. What are some of the dates you have, or some of the cities that you plan to visit in the near future?
Yeah, so let's see. Next month we're going to Texas. I think we're playing in Dallas and Houston, San Antonio. Then we're going to play out here in California at one of the wineries. And then in November we're heading to the East Coast. We're going to play in Akron, Ohio. I think we're heading to New York. We're playing.
NYC. All right. So
yeah,
I got to talk to Mike to get my ticket for that one.
Yeah, playing at. I think we're playing at BB King's in Manhattan in November, and I know we got I think Buffalo. We're at Buffalo in November, and I think we'll be hitting DC probably in the next summer. I've heard rumblings that we might be at Cap Jazz next year. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we may have covered everything. What is in the future for Mr. Richard Elliot?
I just want to get out and tour now. We did this record, and we had a great time making it. And one of the coolest things about doing a record like this that you sort of play and record live is that it lends itself to playing, in a live performance. So, just looking forward to getting out on the road and playing this music in front of an audience.
Okay. All right. Is there anything that you might have wanted to discuss that I didn't get to ask you?
Gosh, I don't know. I think you pretty much covered it.
Okay. Well, I thank you for your time, sir. It was a privilege and a pleasure chatting with you. And the album is entitled Summer Madness, and it's on the Concord Jazz label. And I think you're on Facebook, Twitter. You have your own website, richardelliot.com, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. And well, continued success, and thanks for taking the time to chat with us over here.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.